is the diva of dump divas? Where is the elegant and equally passionate Kat Engelbert? Imagine the irony. I guess the cat has the cat's tongue. Normally, the WNBA is rapid in their response to allegations of mythical racism. Normally, the dump divers in the WNBA, they are proud to volunteer their time fighting this horrifying plague on society. Private First Class Angel Reese, Lieutenant Natasha Cloud, Sergeant AJ Wilson. But my name is Asia!
It doesn't matter what your name is!
Brigadier General Bob Grryer, Honorary Captain Sherry Swoops, the original Pooper Swooper, employee number 1 in the WNBA dump. They are all led by their captain, the diva of dump divas herself, Kat Engelbert. Normally, all it takes is a false accusation, and the entirety of the WNBA is ready to combat mythical racism. They put down the miniature ball, they utilize their weapon of choice, social media, and they portray themselves as the ultimate victim. But over a week has passed since Brittney Griner appeared to say a racial slur towards Caitlin Clark, and for some reason, the WNBA is choosing to exercise their right to remain silent. I wonder why. As you guys know, I have never liked rules, mainly because there are too many rules. In most cases, rules are implemented under the guise of safety. But the reality is, rules are mostly implemented as a form of control, or as a way to get your money. For example, I'm sure you've been driving through an unfamiliar town before. You're cruising down the highway at 55 miles an hour, and you notice a cop in your rearview mirror driving 90 miles an hour just to pull you over. He gets out of his car. Hey, Bo, my name is Tater. I pulled you over because you were doing 55 in a zone with a maximum speed allowed of 25. That's a serious offense in these here parts. We take major crimes like this very seriously. Obviously, you're in a state of confusion. Why in the hell would the speed limit be 25 on a national highway running through a town with a population size that's less than the speed limit? It's a speed trap. It is specifically designed to bust you speeding so they can take the money in your wallet and put it in their pocket. It's a useless rule implemented under the guise of safety, but it's really just a form of extortion or another tax. There are thousands, maybe even millions of rules like this, but there are some rules that are important for a civilized society. According to the WNBA, one of those important rules was implemented before the start of the regular season. 24 hours before the start of the regular season, the WNBA revealed their primary initiative for the 2025 regular season. Well, Casey, was this brilliant strategy implemented in an effort to sell tickets? This dump can't give away tickets, much less sell them. The primary objective this season in the WNBA is a campaign called No Space for Hate, No Space for Hate. The WNBA is committed to eradicating racism, along with criticism and most other isms. Now, of course, feminism is allowed along with feminine masculinism. A week or so into the season, Bob Griner potentially violated the No Space for Hate policy. Bob was caught on video speaking blasphemous rhetoric towards the Great White Hope, but for some reason, Kat Engelbert is choosing to ignore it. Kat Engelbert can't find the interest to even launch an investigation. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Woodhaven. As you guys know, fall and winter are my favorite seasons. When I was growing up, one of my favorite things to do was sit around the fire, whether it was the fireplace at home or the parties that we had around bonfires when I was in high school and college. One of the primary components of a fire is wood. But what do you do with all the wood during the summer months? You got to store it, and it's got to be organized. Otherwise, you open yourself up to snakes and rats living in your wood pile, which is where my friends at Woodhaven step in. Woodhaven is a fourth-generation family-owned business who manufactures top-of-the-line firewood racks, carts, and outdoor accessories made right here in America. Woodhaven racks are visually appealing. They won't be an eyesore in your backyard. The racks are designed to keep firewood covered and off the ground so you don't have to worry about it getting wet. With Father's Day coming up, this would make the perfect gift for Dad. All Woodhaven products come with a lifetime warranty and free shipping on orders over $150. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL10, BTL10. Save 10% off your first purchase with Woodhaven. The WNBA opened the regular season with a record-setting game between the Indiana Felines and the Chicago Bravado. 2.7 million people tuned in to see Caitlin Clark. Now, I'm sure Angel Reese is taking some of the credit, but believe me when I tell you, no one was watching that game to see Angel Reese rebound her own missed layups. Hell, the other night, I saw Angel Reese airball a wide-open mid-range shot. The Dump is the only place where you can find this level of quality entertainment. Anyway, the point is, the WNBA opened the regular season with positive publicity. The 2.7 million people that tuned in to see Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Felines give the Chicago Bravado their first ass whooping of the regular season. That 2.7 million was the most watched game in the last 25 years in the WNBA. So, what does the Dump do with all this positive publicity? They immediately squash it by launching an investigation into mythical racism. According to the WNBA, Caitlin Clark fans, or as they prefer to call them, white people, little white girls and their mothers, were yelling racial slurs at Angel Reese. What evidence was provided to launch this investigation? Kat Engelbert was relying on the testimony of lonely men on social media and the word of Angel Reese, which is about as reliable as Angel Reese attempting shots from centimeters away from the basket. It took Uncle KC and his inside sources all of 2 minutes, 2 minutos, to confirm these allegations were completely fabricated, hence the term mythical racism. There is a reason I refer to it as mythical. It's not real. It took the WNBA almost 2 weeks to confirm these claims were false. Did they condemn Angel Reese for falsifying a dump report? Did they condemn Angel Reese for obstructing justice with fabricated claims? No and no. The WNBA released a brief statement and told their pretend friends in the mainstream media to act like this never happened. Couple of weeks ago, the Indiana Felines were playing the Masculine Dreamers of Atlanta, the team who pulls their inspiration from the heroic Bob Griner. During the game, Bob Griner fouled out or ran out of shaving cream. Either way, she was sitting on the bench. Now, unbeknownst to Bob, cameras were capturing her reaction. Now, this is unfamiliar territory for most WNBA players. They're not used to cameras recording them. The last time cameras were at a WNBA game, it was those disposable cameras taking pictures of Sherry Swoops back in 1999. Photographers, they didn't even develop the film. They automatically assumed it was useless and threw the camera away. Maybe they saved the batteries and put them in one of the razors provided by Just for Men. Anyway, cameras caught the reaction of Bob Griner. She was visibly upset, and she appeared to violate the no space for hate policy by not only mentioning the race of Caitlin Clark, Bob also appeared to mention her gender. Now, according to the WNBA, this should open Bob Griner to a dual violation. She would probably need 2 lawyers, one who specializes in race and one who specializes in gender. Watch it for yourself. According to Jamal Hill, who is right here, by the way, According to Jamal Hill, Bob Griner was saying whack call. I have watched this clip several times. I am no expert in translating inaudible communication, but it sure looks to me like Bob Griner is saying trash fucking white girl. Now, me personally, do I think these comments are egregious? Absolutely not. It's just Bob Griner expressing her frustration. Should the WNBA launch an investigation? Normally, I would say no. However, the precedent has already been set. You investigated Caitlin Clark fans without a single shred of evidence. Here we have visual evidence of Bob Griner clearly violating your no space for hate policy. But here we are almost 2 weeks later, and the WNBA hasn't even acknowledged it. Why? For starters, this is why, as a league, you don't put yourself in situations like this. You don't put yourself in situations where you're monitoring speech. It is not your job to monitor fan behavior. It's not your job to monitor social media. The primary job in the WNBA is presenting a good product, a job that's resulted in huge embarrassing failure the last 30 years. The WNBA is one of the worst products on the market. But the question remains, why has the WNBA chosen to ignore this clear violation from Brittney Griner? Maybe, just maybe, they're afraid of the backlash. Maybe they're afraid of the reaction from their players. Maybe they're afraid that Bob Griner will play the role of the ultimate victim and accuse the WNBA themselves of racism. Or maybe this policy was never meant for Bob Griner or Angel Reese, Natasha Cloud, AJ Wilson, Paige Beckers, Cam Brinks, Kelsey the Plumber, Bree Stu. Maybe this policy was designed to police the behavior of one fan base. It damn sure wasn't designed to police the behavior of the WNBA fan base. It doesn't exist. Maybe it was designed specifically for fans of Caitlin Clark. You tell me, why hasn't the WNBA launched an investigation into Brittney Griner? Are they protecting her? Are they afraid of backlash? Or was this policy only meant for Caitlin Clark and her fans? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.